Hello YouTube. Now, this review took me a very long time to do. I spent nights thinking about what I was going to say about it, and now on Gene Wilder's birthday nonetheless, which happy birthday Gene Wilder, because he's just one of my favorite actors, here it is. This is Young Frankenstein. Okay, so the story is that the grandson of Dr. Frankenstein is given his grandfather's castle in his will. And even though he says he wants something to do with them, he goes anyway. Why? I don't know. Try to figure that one out. Guess he wants money or something. I don't know. There was a lead scene about it, though. And while there, he meets Igor, Iga, Luker, and many more. But he also stumbles upon his grandfather's notes to how he created life, and does the same thing. While trying to control the monster, though, the town finds out about it, and it's up to him and his workers, friends, companions, sort of friends? Okay, whatever you want to call them, to save his creation, but as things quickly get crazier and crazier, it gets her to try and save the monster. Now, the story itself isn't bad, nor is it executed that way. But unfortunately, it relies too much on the humor, which is pretty predictable now. So, it doesn't really work. Because of this, the story really suffers because the humor isn't that strong. The humor can be strong at times, but it's not as strong as it needs to be. So they don't actually get enough time to focus on. So they don't actually get enough time to focus on the actual story that they have. So the story itself is kind of all over the place. At one point, one character will be in there, and then they're gone for like half of the movie, and then they'll come back. So basically, the thing will sort of go off on its own. Now, I'm not sure how this might have been in the 70s. Who knows? Maybe back then it was much better. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't there, so I wouldn't know. But now, the humor is just far too predictable, and unfortunately, the story relies much too heavily on it. So, for the story, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. For relying far too much on the humor than the actual plot that's given. But, to have good characters to make you forget about the over-predictable story, sorta? Okay, these are the characters. So, let's start off with the main character himself, and the reason why I'm doing this review, Gene Wilder, playing Frederick Frankenstein.
That's Frankenstein. I beg your pardon? My name is pronounced Frankenstein.
Yeah, okay, whatever. So, yeah, I'd be lying if I said that this character wasn't a heck of a lot of fun to watch in this. His over-the-top performance, from switching from screaming at the top of his lungs, I mean, he screams at the top of his lungs, to just being completely calm and sophisticated again, is a lot of fun to watch. It's very enjoyable, yet it's very corny at the same time, which ends up just working for the film. Because it really does seem to fit. Being entirely crazy, yet also having a sophisticated manner to it. And that's a lot of fun to watch. And then there's Igor, who is almost, if not is, more fun than Gene Wilder. He's just so surreal and funny that you don't even think that he understands the gravity of the situation that he's in. And he also just has this charm to him that just makes him a really likable character. And then there's Brooker, who is kind of restricted in her performance. Let me explain. You see, she's the one who was in love with Victor before he died. So you think she had a big part, right? Well, she does at first, but then she sort of disappears, and then comes back for a little while and just disappears again. So she doesn't really leave a big impact on the viewer or the plot. And then there's the monster himself, and he is just great in this. Now, he does have some jokes that don't work, but most of his do. And since all the good jokes work because they use shock humor most of the time, he just uses this to his advantage. But aside from just being funny, is there anything else to him? Well, I can safely say yes. He does have his own charm that's all his own. And luckily they focus on that. So he stays a strong character. And then we have the inspector, who, oh my god, his wooden arm gag can get so annoying. Yes, he has a wooden arm. We got it. Why did they have to show us that like 10 times? Seriously, they have like 5 different variations of the joke that his arm's wooden. Ooh. I don't get it. I don't care to get it, and it was just really stupid. And got very annoying very fast. But he can get a good laugh every once in a while. Why? Because of the way that he never pronounces anything right. And I mean anything. This guy, if he were to ever do an audiobook, no one would know what he says. And that's just the point. And it is hilarious. Every time one of the characters asks him what did he say? What did you just say? I asked the exact same thing. And then I just start laughing because they basically asked my question. But aside from that, aside from his very thick accent, he doesn't really offer anything new. And let's not forget about the Bride of Frankenstein, or in this case, the Bride of Frankenstein's monster, who can get old really fast. Sure, sometimes he is kind of enjoyably cynical, but aside from that, you don't really have anything else to offer, and doesn't bring anything new to the table whatsoever. And then the last main character is Iga. I swear that's not that real character's name, who can get a laugh every once in a while, but she's not memorable on her own, and doesn't really offer. I mean, sometimes she pulls through as a good character, but other times she's basically there just for support, so she doesn't really offer anything to the audience. So for the characters, it's more of a sink or swim thing. Some of the characters work, some of them don't. So for them, I give them a 7 out of 10. Because no matter how bad these characters will get, I didn't forget them. Even after months of not seeing this movie, I did not forget these characters. They still stuck in my mind, and some of the really funny lines and really just cool moments. Yeah, they have cool moments in this, and would just stick with me. So I just give them credit for that, because I mean, I didn't forget about them, and I probably won't be forgetting about them, no matter how many times I try. So, on film. Does the film hold up after all these years? Well, Yes. No, kinda. It has, on the plus side, it does have some great sets, and the fact that they did everything in black and white when there was when they actually do have the option for color is pretty cool. And actually, all the laboratory stuff is from the original Frankenstein movie. How cool is that? But it does have some pretty big flaws. Like, some of the jokes are really predictable, and the story relies too much on them than the actual story it's given. So, I see it more as a film that can be seen in a different way by everyone who sees it. But it's definitely worth a watch. I mean, really, go to the library and rent it if you haven't seen it yet, because it's a really fun movie. So, and I won't be forgetting about it anytime soon. So, for the film itself, I give it a 6 out of 10. So, yeah. Bye.
Mother grabbing bastard!
Hey, what? What? Are you upset that I gave you a low review? It's not that bad of a review. That was kind of good. That was kind of good rating. I recommend that people watch it at the end. Or why did you? Alright. Just calm down for a little bit. I don't know how to respond to that. Just take it with a little bit of dignity and grace, I guess. I don't know what else to say about that.
I cannot take you for this. What did you do to me? What did you do to me? I don't want to live. I do not want to live. What dignity and grace?
Okay, so I can see that he's going through a mental breakdown. Well, yeah, I forgot to say this. Next week is Earth to Echo. Just sort of forgot to point that out there. And happy birthday, Gene Wilder. You are an awesome actor. One of the best. Someone give Frederick a little bit of help there? What was that? Really, how can I respond to that?